Hi, welcome to week 11 in our series in the waiting room. I cannot believe 11 weeks have gone by already and we're doing this lesson. We have one more week. There are 12 lessons in this series, but if you have not completed it, I know from some of you I've gotten word that you're just about halfway through. Please don't worry. It's not going anywhere. It's still going to be available on my website on gracefuljourney.com. So take it at your own pace, finish it as you can. It's going to be up there for a while. But we are going to be starting a new series in about mid-January. Those dates are going to be coming to you. I'm just finalizing the plans on it right now. But I do want to take a little time off to enjoy the holidays with our family. Our daughter's coming home from college and we'll be home for a month. I'm so excited about that. So, Kels, this is for you, honey. I cannot wait for you to get home and just spend that time with you. So I want to enjoy that. I also want to take a little bit of a rest. I know my holidays get really busy trying to get all the activities in, and I try to really put together a nice balance so that I am not overdoing it. So come January, about midway, you're going to get the dates. I promise you, you'll know well in advance. We're going to be doing a new series, and that series is going to be in the book of Colossians. If you know anything about me, I will say this if you don't. I love going verse by verse, doing a chapter, doing an entire book study. It just opens up that book to a whole new meaning for me. And I realized that we did push a lot with the Psalms, reading a whole chapter at a time. But I want to take a little different approach in January. We're going to be going through the book of Colossians, but just each week is going to be just a couple of verses to read for the whole week. And I'm going to be sharing with you some of the questions that I ask to really challenge myself to a better understanding of that and for a heart obedience to that. I did this study a little over a year ago with some girlfriends of mine, and they willingly shared with me their own personal questions they asked from this study. And I know you're going to love hearing that part as well, as I've been able to compile a lot of their questions in with the study, and I want to share that with you starting in January. But no, we're going to take it at a little slower pace. We're going to do a lot of question applications, and I know that your heart's just going to be so blessed by what is ahead. So stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing with you more information in the coming week or two. As you can see behind me, our Christmas tree is up. Our Christmas decorations are in place. We are ready to enjoy Christmas here in our household. Our daughter should be arriving home sometime this week, and I can't wait to see her. So, Kels, hurry home, honey. We love you and want to spend a month home with you. So, I know she watches these studies, so that one's for my daughter. We're getting ready to bake cookies. I love baking. It is something that I really get into, and I usually decorate, put together some beautiful boxes that are filled with different cookies that have become my favorite. I love to decorate them and put them together in a box. I give them to people that are work associates of my husband's and a few intimate friends of ours, family members, and it just brings me such joy to work on them. And I put the Christmas music on and just dance around the kitchen. And so I'm getting ready to do that. My daughter has asked for some of it to be to hold off on until she gets home because she loves doing it as well. So I'm excited for what is ahead in our household. This coming week, we're going to be studying Psalms chapter 40. I know that when I read this chapter, my heart just gets elated and it just is grabbed by some of the words in here, and because it fills me with so much hope. And here's why. Because David states that after waiting patiently, God lifts him out of his pit, plants him on a rock, gives him a firm place to stand, and puts a new song in his mouth. And I know for any of you that are waiting to hear that brings hope to your heart, I hope. It's coming. God's working on his plan, and in his perfect time, I promise you, you are going to be lifted out of your pit. You are going to stand on a firm rock, and he's going to put a new song in your heart from the things that he has taught you and what he reveals more to you about his character and his faithfulness to you. A song of joy is coming. And in the meantime, we can start practicing that as well. I've been recently thinking about a couple of words that I saw in this passage. The first one is a pit, and I recently read a very good description of a pit, and I want you to take time to write it down. You're going to see it in your lesson again this week on the notes. I think on Tuesday it is. But if you take the word pit and write it horizontally on a piece of paper, like an acrostic, and take from the word P and put in that personally, and next to the letter I, write intense, and then next to the word T, put trial. So personally intense trial. Isn't that a great definition of what a pit is? Because that describes it so well in just a couple of words. Sometimes the reason that we are placed in a pit is of our own wrong choices. We undergo a trial because we have sinned, and we're placed there as a result of consequences. Sometimes we are placed in a pit because of someone else in our life's wrongdoing, wrongful choices, and we go through a terrible time because of our loved ones' bad choices. And then there are times that we're just in a pit, and I can honestly tell you, I really don't know why we're there or why I'm there, other than to tell you this, that God has chosen in his wisdom to allow me to be there. And I've been thinking a lot about that this week, and along with that, I noticed the word patient, that David waited patiently. I don't know about you, but sometimes I just don't wait patiently. And I thought that as I thought about that I wonder how many times when I'm not waiting patiently, do I walk ahead of God? Do I try to climb out of that pit on my own devices, of my own scheming and my own plans that are not aligned with what he wants for me? And as a result of that, I'm delayed getting out of my pit because I'm taking matters in my own prideful way. And so I just kind of imagine God sometimes just sitting back and going, okay, Kath, do what you want to do. I'm here and I'm waiting for you to talk to me, to wait on me, and let me show you what my plan is. I'm waiting for you to surrender to me, submit to me, and then I'm going to show you what it is I've got going on here. Just a thought as you think about this coming week's study. Our culture, I wrote these things down in my note, our culture teaches us that waiting is really wasteful, that busyness is good, and that we control everything about our lives, including trials, that we just jump right in and think, oh, I can get out of this. And there are so often times, I think we've talked about it actually back in lesson 1, that waiting is so difficult for us because we live in a time in which everything is immediate gratification. But David in this psalm reminds us to wait patiently. And when we do, there is a gift that is given to us, that God offers to us hope, that he offers us the ability to see something that is right and good that comes out of it. And this psalm tells us that blessed is the man that waits, that he's happy. I don't know about you, but I really want that in my life, and seek to have that hope and happiness when I am going through the trials. So I know that this week is going to really challenge you to think about that. I want us to take Tuesday and Thursday of this week to do something a little bit different than we've done before. I know that many people reading this study, it is difficult to read a whole chapter, that it is sometimes hard, especially as we go into these holidays, to find that uninterrupted time to sit quietly. I do think it's important, but I don't want you to give up hope thinking, well, because I don't have time to do that, I'm just going to forgo my studies today. I don't want to do that. I want to show you this week, especially as we're going into the holidays, how to take a passage like this and do just a verse or two. It's kind of a precursor of what's coming in January when we do the Colossians study. But I will take just a phrase, a verse or two, and that is it. And sometimes I'll just take that for the week and I'll put it on an index card and it goes with me, and I'm thinking about it as I'm traveling in the car, as I'm cooking a meal or doing my job or whatever it is that I need to accomplish. Those thoughts are going with me, and I'm asking God to show my heart what it is that he wants me to see in this passage to do personal application. So I'm going to give you some techniques this week to do that with, and some questions on Thursday to, if you were looking at some other verses, if some other verses have kind of just grabbed your heart, of maybe taking just that verse and asking yourself just those questions for the whole week. And this is great. It's not about a ritualistic thing of sitting down and I've got to study a whole chapter. It's about sitting down for the purpose of this, glorifying God by allowing him the opportunity to come into your life and let his word be life-changing, life-transforming, and allowing you to then take it and live it in your everyday life. This is going to be a great week. I know it's busy, but I promise you that if you just take a little bit of time to even take a phrase or just one verse this week for the whole chapter and just make that your focus as you go about your day, you're not going to be disappointed, and God's got something truly wonderful he wants to share with your heart. I can't wait to hear your comments on the website. Please take time to write them down and share with me how God is blessing you in this study. I am praying for you, as I always say, and wishing you a grace-full week. Bye-bye. See you next Monday. I'll see you Tuesday and Thursday with notes. Bye-bye.